everybody, so welcome back. I wanted to be in a good frame of mind before coming in and recording for you guys today. I know we're already like kind of halfway through the month, so I thought we'd just go ahead and do fall favorites since we kind of skipped October. Go ahead and talk about all of this. The very first thing I wanted to start off with you guys with, sorry, that was a choppy bit of English. But the first thing I want to start off with is skincare. And the reason being is because you cannot have beautiful makeup without having gorgeous skincare. So I'll go ahead and I'll grab one of my picks. And one of my favorite picks is the Andalu Naturals Fruit Stem Cell Science 1000 Roses Facial Toner. And this is very idyllic for sensitive skin. But not just for sensitive skin, it actually has a little bit of a gentle acid in here. So it really helps the skincare really kind of lock in and absorb better, and also really helps close your pores. Any toner will really help close your pores a lot more and just give you like that baby's butt smooth skin. I'm sorry, I just had like a long day at work, so my hair, it will not look the best in this video. Not bad, but not the best. Now, the next product here that I have is the Aviesia Organics Davidson Plum C Serum, and this is one of your really nice all skin types type of serums, and it is an anti-wrinkle, it is a collagen boosting product. And now I've never tried vitamin C in a plum form. It's super exciting for me and I'm really enjoying it. I love the texture. It's a light clear gel. It spreads evenly. It has no odor. I've tried some of these sort of like, you know, fruit extract type skincare products, and some of them I love and some of them are so stinky that it's a little nauseating. I hate to say that. And I'm hungry for plums. I'm hungry in general, but what I'm using is the Aviesia Organics. Now, it's been a long time coming since I've used a moisturizer that has a pump, but I'm really happy to be back. Now, I got really used to the jar because I started using the jar creams like I would for a client or a shoot, where you just put in like a spatula, wooden spatula or a Q-tip or even a brush and scoop a little bit out. That has been my like hygienic ritual. And so far it's also saved me a lot of moisturizer, but I really also like, you know, using the pump. I think it's really nice and convenient, and it has 1.7 ounces of moisturizer. Some moisturizers are 1 ounce. That's a rarity. I don't think I've typically bought a moisturizer with that kind of ounceage. This is also an anti-aging moisturizer, but it's got like the lightweightness of like an oil-free moisturizer, but it still has a little bit more, I don't know, creaminess to it, if you will. Am I making sense? It's almost like just the serum alone. So if you're somebody who hates like a sticky moisturizer, I actually have a lot of those clients that want that anti-aging product without the wetness, but oil-free is not good for them. This is something very innovative. I like its lightweight consistency. Two full coverage favorites for you guys. And when it comes to concealers, who wants to skimp on this? Because if you want to cover, you want to cover, and if you don't want maximum coverage concealer, you're blessed. But if you do or don't, you can always use smaller amounts of either or. So one of my personal favorites is the Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. Absolutely adore this because it's very creamy, very fluffy, easy to blend out. So if you're having one of those days where you need a cream concealer, this is a good one. Now, as far as the Dermablend Quick Fix Body, and I do recommend the body concealers because you're getting more bang for your buck with the body concealers. They're much more heavily pigmented products, and Dermablend is not dirt cheap, but they do go down fast. This is the Quick Fix Body Concealer, and I've had it for a while. It's a stick concealer. It's very easy to put on the go. It's not something I want to put on every day. Sometimes I do want to put on that nice lightweight fluffy concealer, but this is really good for covering imperfections. Let's go ahead now and we'll talk the Butter London brand because I'm loving it, and I didn't mean to throw in a Burger King quote there. We all watch TV, right? I don't eat at Burger King. I got rid of their veggie burger years ago. But the Iconolast Infinite Liquid Liner is one of my favorites. I'm wearing it now. This is by far the easiest to apply liquid liner for me. I absolutely love the brush. I love the pot. I almost love this sort of throwback to a little, I don't know, it almost looks like a little drugstore liquid liner, back to those like fun days where you didn't give a crap what your eyeliner looked like as long as it was on. I'm kind of loving that nostalgia, but it doesn't smell. It's 20 bucks, so it will be a bit higher class than, you know, some very stinky drugstore liners. Now, I'm not knocking drugstore, I'm just saying that's been my experience, but if you know of a good drugstore liquid liner, that's great. I just come to find that my money isn't worth it in terms of investing in the majority of drugstore products. I've already used this for over a month and I have plenty. So that, and I don't think the drugstore is that cheap anymore. Anybody else feel that? Or is it just because, no, you know what it is, I moved back to the West Coast. Yes, because when I moved to Alabama, I was like, why did I buy a $35 blush? And then in Alabama, I was like, drugstore all day, every day. Economics. One of my favorite brushes is the Dyeing Tools 968. And the reason I love this is because you can use the tips of this to finely tune your blush. You can use the paddle side of this to really kind of pack it on. But I love the paddle side more for packing on highlighter. I don't like to pack on blush anymore. You would have to go back to 2010 if you want to see those videos. But it's just such a well-rounded HD brush. And I initially bought it to go with my BareMinerals Bare Pro. And then I found out it's so much better as a face powder brush. I think this was designed for a foundation brush, so I am misusing it, but I urge you guys to buy it and misuse it along with me. I don't think Dyeing Tools will care as long as you love it. Women don't support a lot of women's, that's bad English all around. But that is something I'm very interested in doing, especially with a vegan and cruelty-free brand. I want to shop smaller. I know Anastasia Beverly Hills is not a shop small brand, but this is definitely one of my, she definitely blew up because of IG, but this is definitely one of my favorite eyeshadows, the individual pans. And Orange Soda Fresh has long since been one of my favorite colors since I bought one of the Maya Mia palettes, I believe. This is Pink Champagne and Hot Chocolate. The individual pans are everything in a bag of chips. So definitely something to watch out for, because I think Anastasia Beverly Hills just released my favorite loose eyeshadow pigments. They were kind enough to send me about 7, and I need to do more videos because they sent me some of their basic brushes. But this is the Furless Loose Eyeshadow, and this is the shade Sordid. I absolutely love its duochrome nature, and this is gorgeous because it's kind of replacing Club for me from MAC, which I never really replaced it with something I really loved, but it's sort of like the green-brown version of blue-brown pigment. So really fun, something to look out for, and I have a video on it. I'm not trying to tout my videos, but I do have a good video so you can see the consistency on that one. So I'll go ahead and link that in the bottom bar. Check it out if you want to see some Furless pigment. Really great quality. I definitely want to buy some of these with my own money. So they just came out with a brilliant hot pink. I'm not always the biggest hot pink eyeshadow wearer, but I tend to buy weird shades because I go to lips. And 3 of my favorite lip colors go to Anastasia Beverly Hills Milkshake. And then I also really love Dolce, which I'm wearing today. I love this color. I love it because it's a basic coral, but it's coral nonetheless. And I tend to gravitate towards an odd neutral. Not something everybody else has, but will go with a lot of things. And then Crush, which is a beautiful, perfect bridal nude. It's that bridal nude that everybody's like, that's what I was looking for. It's not exactly what I was thinking of, but that's exactly what I want. And it's a peachy brownie pinky nude. So it's basically a beige. So to put it out there, you're looking for beige. Okay? So, okay. Alright. So, we didn't talk about face colors. Let's talk about cheek colors. Alright, so Hourglass, speaking of $35 blushes, I can't believe I bought it. And this is Luminous Flush, which I have worn on again, off again this month. And it has been on my back pile of, I don't know, I don't know if I should have bought it. I think I just did it to fill out a void in my collection. But I've recently grabbed to it again, and I'm actually wearing it today, and it does oxidize to a nice color, but I think your skin definitely needs to be pale enough to rock it. And I'm not the biggest touter of, you know, this color only style blushes. I tend to really love pigmented blushes, especially as an artist, because they go further. You can put it on very lightly on pale skin, and you can put it on just as is for darker skins. So with that being said, it's a good highlighter for dark skin, but it's not my ultimate favorite. It's definitely something I've grabbed around this month. But as far as having a juicy, delicious hot pink that is in the vein of what I just showed you for darker skin would be Radiant Magenta. I absolutely recommend this because it kind of still has that nice kind of pinky coral vibe. It will be very intense on pale skin, so you do have to dab on it with a light hand, which is perfect. If you know how pigments work, you'll be all right with this. If you want to gravitate away from it, test yourself and try it out, because this has been one of my favorite blushes long before Luminous Flush ever. A lot of you guys do know that I work for BareMinerals, and as an entity they don't test. As an entity, they're cruelty free. Shiseido did buy them. Shiseido is a Japanese company, and they vow that they don't test. They do have one brand, and one brand only, that does sell to China, but it's not Shiseido and it's not BareMinerals. So that's where that whole thing comes into play that people are concerned about when in terms of BareMinerals and Shiseido being a brand owner. Because I actually got some heat on it from Twitter, which is very weird for me because I don't think I've ever gotten any heat about veganism on Twitter or anywhere else since like 2012. So anyway, so I think it's kind of gotten more mainstream to talk about vegan cosmetics. I don't think there's anything wrong with vegan cosmetics. I don't come on here and tell you guys go vegan, you know what I'm saying? So each their own. Nothing wrong with a good plant-based nutritional cosmetic. So at least that's how I think, but I don't know, who knows? So it's been a long time since I've been on YouTube, and I just like want to roll and have fun and like talk really real. Yeah, so someone came on to my Twitter because I had very plainly stated that Too Faced was bought out by Estee Lauder, period. That's all I wrote. And I'm not going to say anything else about that because I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to punish anybody for buying from a parent company. I don't want to, I know not all vegans feel the same, and I know not all buyers feel the same, and I don't want to go on boycott tangents in terms of cosmetics. There's a lot more bigger problems and much more fish to fry these days than who we're buying from per se. But so yeah, somebody, and it was a vegan, she tweeted back at me and she just said, that's like saying you're not going to go to the grocery. I said, that would be true if I said I wasn't going to go to Sephora, but I'm simply letting my followers know in case they don't want to buy from Too Faced. Choice is yours to make. I'm not going to come on here and bash Too Faced. I'm simply saying that they sold to a parent company, Estee Lauder. So, now with that being said, that's a huge change now in the cosmetic world. We're having more brands that are either hurting from the economy, wanting more money, wanting to expand their horizons. Too Faced is promising as an entity that they're going to stay cruelty free, but Estee Lauder has such a big hand in their cosmetics as a whole, that company especially. I know I've worked for them, so I'm not going to come on here and bash anybody who wants to buy Too Faced, but they always have their hand in the pot, so to speak, and they change formulas. So something to be aware of in terms of Becca and something to be aware of in terms of Too Faced. Okay, so I didn't intend to be gone for this long, but I did dabble in working on hair and makeup and fashion shows. So I had the honor and the privilege of working with a company, actually my friend, but I had worked with them previously before, so they have seen my skills. So, I mean, it definitely helps to know people, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm also wanting to put that tip out there if you know anybody in the makeup world that can help you boost your career. But yeah, I run in a group, a freelance gig, and we go around and we do fashion shows, all kinds of fashion shows for Saks Fifth Avenue, for Bloomingdale's, for volleyball, for charity. And it's so fun because from day to day you never know what you're going to get. And if you're somebody who's artistic because you love that, I never know what I'm going to get, you're definitely going to enjoy trying, you know, your hand at different types of artistry. But that's something I've been doing a lot. Also, I had a lot of post-election blues, and it wasn't necessarily because my candidate won. It wasn't necessarily because my candidate didn't win, excuse me. I like Bernie Sanders. You know, I didn't want to talk about it too much beforehand, but it's really gotten heated, which is probably still not a good idea for me to bring it up because, but I know it's been definitely on my social media, you know, who I like and what I don't support. And I think I've definitely put it out there plenty of times that I didn't want to support Jeffree Star because of racist viewpoints. And the same thing goes for, you know, Donald Trump's rhetoric. I don't care for the man, I'm sorry. I have listened to people. Now, I know California news has a tendency to be jaded, but when I was living in Alabama, I didn't care for the man either. But of course, that goes back to the fact that I grew up in California. Now, I just don't care for his rhetoric. I think all men are created equal, and I don't value, you know, his thought process. I think he's a liar. I think he spoke out of his butt. I'm sorry if you like him, if you agree with him. I hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong, because I don't want the world to go. So I really do hope I'm wrong. I'm not talking out of arrogance. I just really don't have a good feeling about him. I know the world is run by big corporations. Donald Trump owns corporations, but a lot of corporations are also corrupt, so that didn't really open my eyes to the idea of a businessman running America. I'm sorry, especially when he didn't drain the swamp. I mean, you got Jeff Sessions, Alabama senator, you got Sarah Palin, model hypocrite, Pence anti-gay, just not for the man. And maybe because I work in cosmetics, I'm very sensitive to their whole ideals. My beliefs don't align with their beliefs. And I'm sorry, but it's been hard for me to post online because I am very kind of sickened by the election results. Not because Hillary lost, but because, well, I think now is the time to share, I guess, something very personal for me. I work in a very diverse community. I work amongst people who are very diverse and people who are LGBTQ as well. And I've had people come into my work and tell people that they're going to be sent back, tell people that they're going to have to go to conversion therapy. I'm not making this up. It's been 4 of us already who have gotten these speeches from Trump supporters. I know one of my dearest friends who gave me, you know, the chance to work in cosmetics. Her sister-in-law got an immense amount of hatred at a well-known fitness center. So it doesn't sit well with me what happened. What he said about women doesn't sit well with me. And like I said, if Hillary Clinton lost to Mitt Romney, I'd forget about it. But it's been very hard for me to post online because I've just like it's immense. I know a lot of people are saying liberals are crying about it, but it means a lot more to us, I think, than they realize. I know a lot of people survived 8 years of Obama, but at the same time, his rhetoric wasn't quite as strong as Trump's is. So that's definitely something to consider. I mean, yeah, you guys also went against Bush, and I felt like we were far more tolerant back then as well. On the other hand, social media is a bigger aspect as well today, and it's made things much more intense, you know. So I just hope everything works out for the best, and I can't say anything really bad has happened to me, so I can't really personalize, you know, on it in this regard. It's just, I think, I feel, as I guess a fairly liberal vegan, you know, I'm gonna feel for somebody else very often before I feel for myself, and I'm just very saddened by the results. So I'm gonna try to post more indefinitely because it felt good to be back, and it doesn't feel frivolous to talk about makeup. I think we need to focus on the good things in life. And that's it for now.